Congratulations, you're on a first date with someone you really like. What's something that they could say that would ruin it completely? Had this happen to me. Met girl on a fair as we're both helpers. Immediate connection. Joke around and do awesome work the whole day. She invites me to dinner. I thought it was kinda date-ish. Go over, cook, have great conversation, connection and food. End up in bed together. Cuddle. Put my hand on her belly. She is visibly shocked. I thought you were gay. FML. That was the one time my whole world just imploded. I think I still haven't really recovered from that. It's been a few years. Frick dude, this one must have hurt. So, how would you like to own your own small business? I know a great opportunity, and all you have to do is get 5 of your friends to join with you. Want to join my team and crush some goals? That happened to me with a lady I met at a wedding in Buenos Aires a while back. I thought, Christ, even on other continents. What do you think we should name our child? I think we should figure this out right now before I impregnate you later tonight. I had a girl a week into dating send me a meme about how awesome cuddling would be when we were married. It's a bit worse since I told her I wanted to take things nice and slow after getting out of an abusive relationship. Oh yeah, by the way, I invited, insert friends that you hate, to come along with us. Heck no, it's a date, not a get together. There was this girl in college I was really into. Almost every time I asked her to hang out or go do something, she'd invite her friends. She was a Japanese exchange student, so maybe it was a cultural thing, but it was really frustrating. But 6 years after graduating, I married her, so I won. You feel like a brother to me. Personal experience. Just letting you know that I'm a registered sex offender, but it's complete BS. Yeah, a date actually said that to me. The reason wasn't BS. I looked it up. Never went out with him again after that. Blocked his number and refused to speak with him. This happened to me too. Blocked him and all after. Still found me months later on the dating site we met on, under a different profile. Gross. Someone once told me a story while on a date of how he used to be a bouncer, and there was a guy leaning over the bar and he could see he had women's underwear on. Naturally, he pulled him out of the bar and beat him up. When I told him I wasn't impressed, he started to berate me about how a woman from his country would have been impressed by this story. He was somehow still very shocked when I asked him to leave. I actually laughed at this cause it's so close to home and one of the reasons I left. My personal experience from the one date I had before meeting my boyfriend. You're not a gamer. Xbox is so inferior to PC. I can't consider it gaming. He then proceeded to show me an hour-long gameplay video for World of Tanks. He nice guyed me when I later told him I wasn't feeling anything and that we should go our separate ways. To think I thought he was worth my time at one point. He was checking off a whole list. Assert dominance. Subtly put her down. Show her your interest to prove you're a complete guy. Nice guy out. Go home and rage masturbate in the shower. 20 minutes into what is clearly, to me, at least, the worst date ever. First, discovering they were dishonest about a bunch of stuff. Then they say, hey, let's go back to your place and Netflix and chill. Yes, they actually said that. Please tell me you laughed in their face. I'd just like to interject for a moment. What you're referring to as Linux is in fact New Linux, or as I've recently taken to calling it, New Plus Linux. Linux is not an operating system unto itself, but rather another free component of a fully functioning GNU system made useful by the GNU corelibs, shell utilities and vital system components comprising a full OS as defined by POSIX. Many computer users run a modified version of the GNU system every day, without realizing it, through a peculiar turn of events. The version of GNU which is widely used today is often called Linux, and many of its users are not aware that it is basically the GNU system, developed by the GNU project. There really is a Linux, and these people are using it, but it is just a part of the system they use. Linux is a kernel, the program in the system that allocates the machine's resources to the other programs that you run. The kernel is an essential part of an operating system, but useless by itself. It can only function in the context of a complete operating system. Linux is normally used in combination with the GNU operating system, The whole system is basically new with Linux added, or new Linux. All the so-called Linux distributions are really distributions of new Linux. I'm so turned on right now. Arnivaxxer, flat earther, aliens built the pyramids, telling me what I should think, wanting to discuss what I could with my assets, to get rich they are married long-term partners. This is nice. Hey, I need to buy some weed. Would you mind dropping me off at my friend's house for an hour so I can pick some up? Oh, no, he isn't going to charge me any money. You don't have to stay. I'll just text you when I'm ready. Thanks. Them. You speak really well for a black person. I mean, you know, for someone who grew up where you did. Me. So, I guess when it comes to you there's no accounting for brains or manners. Them. I didn't mean to offend. Me. I'm not offended by you as much as I am of my poor judgment to go on a date with you. You're way too attractive to be out with someone like me. I'm way too ugly. Don't say I look good because I know you're just lying to make me feel better. When you put yourself down so much that it becomes an argument, the other person has no choice but to agree with you. Ugh. How I hate low self-esteem. And people with it can be so lovely, too. I just can't deal with every conversation being about them being ugly or not worthy or a bad person. It's so mentally exhausting. I'm not a therapist. I'm an engineer. Racism. Or, the actual date I had once that said I hope this goes well. You're tall. Can't wait for you to put a baby in me. Listen to this. It literally happened to me like 3 hours ago. Went out with a friend of a friend I've met at a concert a few weeks back. Everything seemed to be going well until we got into the most basic topic, what do you do for a living? When she tried to sell me in on an MLM scheme, I let her know I'm not interested and she immediately changes tone and nitpicks specific wording I've used when rejecting her offer to suggest I'm rude or something for not hearing her out on this life-changing opportunity. So I just walked up to the counter, paid our bill, grabbed my jacket and got out. I feel I must tell you this. I have herpes, but it'll be okay. The last guy used herbs and spices and didn't contract it. Them mentioning how they haven't smoked yet. I have a really hard time dating or hanging out with people who smoke because I can't stand the smell. What's worse is kissing someone who smokes when you don't. It's like licking the inside of a chimney. Glee. I went on a date with a girl I was pretty into. Super cute and generally really nice girl. She tricked me into going to her borderline cult meeting, and I felt too awkward to just nope out like I should have. I now have a very strong position regarding dating women in cults. It's come up more than you'd expect. I have to. 1. I love you. Even if I really like you, that's a lot for a first date. 2. If someone keeps saying, you're out of my league, once I can laugh off. More than that and I assume you're trying to tell me something. When they don't say anything, nothing brings a date to a screeching halt like awkward pauses. Especially when they won't engage in any type of conversation. I'm fine with that as long as they look like they're trying to make conversation or purposefully enjoying a pause in conversation. What kills it for me is if they're messing around on their phone when I thought we were trying to have a conversation. 1. I miss my ex. 2. You're paying. 3. You remind me of my dad. Not a good way. 4. Gold digger attitude. This place is nice. Bro, I got told I look like my girlfriend's dad the first time I met her family. Not a good feeling considering I don't like the guy. My worst first date first made me take her to the most expensive cocktail bar in town after we already agreed on a more fun one. Then played a sad song for me that she was really into at the time that made her cry. So as one would expect, she then had a quick sad cry. Then we get to the bar and she doesn't say thank you for the drink or make much effort in the conversation. I could pretty much take all of this, but then we see her friend who says, oh, is this your date you were telling me about? And my date responds, no it's not. Then when the friend left I said, so I thought this was a date. And she responded, why would you think that really was the final straw? Don't let me buy you a drink and then turn around and say it's not a date. That's just frickin' gaslighting. It might have been a crap date, but god dang it was def a date. TTDR. On a first date with a girl I liked, we saw her friend who asked if I was the date and my date said number. Real dong move on her part. Oh dang, that sucks, dude. One time a guy told me he just got out of prison for non-consensually posting a video of him getting a blowjob from a woman. He was nice and he said it was a huge mistake and he learned a lot from the whole ordeal and 5 years in prison, but I was like, I can't. This happened to me. He was attractive and intelligent, and we seemed to have some things in common. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, he started going on and on about how the Asians were taking over the country. Right at the end, find out one of you likes olives or the other hates them. Call it the olive theory if you have opposite tastes. Offer to give them your olives or take theirs off their hands. Steal something sentimental from your date for when you go to exchange olives. Tell them that you love them. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.